Good morning, Technosphere. And it's not morning, it's far from morning, it's lunchtime, and I'm failing abysmally to get my act together. But I don't care about that because, as I've said before, one of my methodologies of fighting the patriarchy is just to do things as I feel. And as I feel is a little bit slow today, because I am in shock and horror as to the genuine political and social disaster that is occurring right now to all of us, and no one is taking any notice. Like, no one. And be afraid. Be very fucking afraid. I'm afraid. I went to... it's windy. It's getting in the way of my split rolling. I went to a protest yesterday to protest the abysmal and disgusting treatment of Julian Assange, who is currently in Belmarsh for jumping bail, which seems like a little bit of an extreme situation. Anyway, without going into details, he is being slowly assassinated by the shenanigans that are going on in the interworld governments. America want him back. No, America want him. They didn't have him, so they can't have him back. America want him, Sweden want him, Australia ain't doing jack, and England are holding him at the moment, and the ball is currently in our court. So, anyway, he's being murdered slowly by the world governments, who are obviously in cahoots with one another, and his death, when it occurs, is going to herald the beginning. Well, it's not the beginning, it's been going on for a while. Herald a serious step in the direction of the information lockdown that has always existed ever since writing was invented. Probably from before. Probably from when people used to speak Latin and the peasants didn't. Anyway, the information lockdown that has, for the first time in the history of humanity, due to the internet, potentially could access all humans to all information and thereby level the vastly unequal playing field upon which we all live. And the likes of Mr. Assange, Edward Snowden, Alex Schwartz, or et al., all of them, they're very helpful in sharing information that our elected governments seem to want to keep from us. And they seem to understand the importance of this. Now, I went to this protest. I was late. And there was hardly anybody there. And I have found scant information online. A very, very... Faneka! Hello, Faneka. I am getting it together to get to the roof, but I'm functioning really slowly. So, the media pointing out the fact that Julian Assange is getting killed in prison is really sketchy. And the online presence, especially given the fact that they are the internet generation, you know, they're the WikiLeaks people, is shit. The internet presence is shit. So when I came home from said protest, which there was no one at, even though I was late, and I did see two people with a banner, and I spoke to them, and they gave me somebody's number to contact. So it seems that take some notice of Julian Assange's death movement and understand the impact of this on your life is at zero. And this morning I was sitting on the patio with grandchildren numbers 11, 12 and 13, and thinking about grandchildren 21 and 22, and I thought, you lot haven't got a cat's chance in hell of existing in a free and equal society. The children that are being born now are being born into the most nefarious information lockdown that has ever been committed. And freedom of information is the single important issue. Without the right to scrutinise all institutions that are supposed to be entrusted with the care of society, without the free access to their business, we're all fucked. Because as we have learned from many, many cases of history, it's all full of fuckeries, isn't it? I mean, I can't even be bothered to pick out examples. Anne Widdecombe selling selling council houses to her friends. Tony Blair going into the whatever war it was without war crimes, basically. The list of lies and dishonest behaviour goes back as far as governments itself. And for the first time in human history, we are in possession of the tools to redress this balance. For the first time in human history, ordinary people can access information. And what's happening is all the academic, all the medical and all the legal information has been monetized as though it's under information lockdown. All the official secrets that the government seem to need to have are also under lockdown. And when somebody like Mr. Assange, for example, decides that maybe people ought to know shit, and the world governments collude to kill them. Now, the fact that there is no public outcry, and the fact that Extinction Rebellion is filling up the protest imagination demonstrates clearly to me that Extinction Rebellion are being allowed and encouraged in order to distract the global idiotville from fighting for and defending their right to free access to information. Information is power, and we don't have any. We be fucked. And that is the sad truth of the politics of our day. What are you going to do? It's game over, people.